You likely see it all the time, pedestrians crossing the street with their heads down, looking at their phones. Tonight, there is a renewed debate on whether or not a pedestrian cell phone ban would make our city's streets safer. It was an idea first brought forward in City Council 3 years ago, an idea that sparked a lot of criticism in the past few days.
It's completely ridiculous and absolutely backwards and antithetical to road safety, and it's just nothing more than victim blaming. It makes me really angry that politicians engage in that because the facts tell us very clearly otherwise.
Every day, Jessica Speaker witnesses brutal driving at intersections near her home. She herself became a victim of road violence 4 years ago when an SUV made a left turn and slammed into her while she was riding a bike to work.
In the statistics, pedestrian distraction is a vanishingly small contribution to road violence.
The motion to look into a pedestrian cell phone ban was in front of City Council back in 2016, but 3 years later, the debate has been reignited after former mayoral candidate Jennifer Keesmaat posted about it on social media just ahead of school starting.
This idea that somehow the pedestrian is to blame and that if pedestrians only acted differently, they would be safer, it just isn't held up by the data. So the challenge is we need to get to the root of the problem, which isn't about saying, hey, you pedestrians, you need to behave differently. We actually need to be designing the city in a different way.
At the time, a lot of city councillors were laughing at the motion brought forward by Frances Nunziata. Take note of Councillor Josh Matlow behind her in this video. Still, the motion passed 26-15. As you said, a lot of people were laughing about it at the time, and then it
But the motion did get passed.
The provincial government that dismissed it is obviously no longer in power. Would you consider bringing this motion forward again?
Yes, I would.
The argument that the focus should be on the drivers and not pedestrians.
No, I believe, we should focus definitely on the drivers. But I think we have to focus on the pedestrians as well, because, I think it's important that the city, we look at safety for all of us.
Would you rather spend $100,000 a year paying a cop for ticketing pedestrians when they're on their cell phone, or paying a cop to ticket drivers?
Mike Layton was one of the city councillors who voted against the motion at the time.
And when you look at some of the more recent accidents in the City of Toronto, it has had nothing to do with distracted pedestrians and everything to do with the drivers who are behind the wheel of those vehicles. And so I think that's where we should be squarely placing our attention. That's what's killing people.
According to Toronto Police, there have been 20 pedestrian deaths in our city so far this year. Last year, the total number for the whole year was 40. When asked if this should be considered a crisis, advocates say absolutely, without a doubt.